child in Huntsville City Schools, specifically Williams Elementary School. We want you to know there is an emergency situation going on right now. There is a lot of police presence there currently. They have not given us any indication of exactly what happened on campus, but they are keeping people away from it at this point in time as they continue this investigation. So you're taking another live look at the scene there at Williams Elementary School. We are starting to get more information as we do have crews on the scene now, really just kind of at this point in time waiting for word from either Huntsville Police or the Madison County Sheriff's Office as to exactly what went down.
And this school is off of Zert Road in Huntsville. To kind of give you some location background, you can see very active scene right now. Huntsville Police all over that school campus. We are being told that they are setting up a perimeter around the school so nobody is getting any further than where you just saw Sydney right there. You could see clearly that line of cars coming back into your screen right now. Those are very concerned parents out there trying to get word. What we do know right now, we have confirmed this some sort of emergency situation at this school that is going on right now. But as for any more detail, we are still working to exactly confirm what this emergency situation is at Williams.
So parents, obviously, if you are concerned, we would urge you to stay away from the scene. Don't try to make this any worse on the police than it is as they're trying to figure out and assess the situation. So if you feel like you need to get there and you need to be there, try to stay away from that area as far back as possible so the police can do their job. And remember, they train for this. So we don't exactly know what's happened yet, but they train for a host of situations. So they're on the scene. They're the ones that are prepared to deal with this. You trying to get there and being concerned about your child, which is very, very valid, isn't going to do anything to help them as they try to deal with whatever potentially could be going on inside of that school. So again, we are going to continue to monitor this. We do have crews there. And at this point in time, it's kind of a wait and see game as we try to find out from the police exactly what's been going on. You know, we're kind of at their mercy in terms of getting that information. We hear things come across on scanners. We hear, rumblings from people that are out there on the scene. But until we hear from them, we aren't going to tell it to you because we don't want to give you any false information. We only want you to know what is true coming from the mouths of those authorities.
And we are being told at this point that the Madison County Sheriff also there on the scene as well. Of course, you saw all the Huntsville police vehicles there, just dozens. And you're taking a live look once again. This is from outside of Williams Elementary School. That line right there of vehicles forming. Sydney just told us concerned parents obviously coming up to the scene, trying to get some information and see what is going on. This school is off of Zert Road on Barren Fork Boulevard. So as Meredith mentioned, you can see parents and family members there as well, obviously concerned, trying to get some information. Shots of Huntsville police vehicles also covering the front of that school. So we do know Huntsville police are there, as well as Madison County Sheriff's Office investigators.
And this is a P through 8 school, according to the Huntsville City Schools website. So this would be, preschool through 8th grade in terms of the students that would be there. So you're looking at, kids as young as 4 to kids probably all the way up to maybe 14-ish. So we do know that this is spanning a lot of kids, a lot of families, and there is definitely concern out there. And we want to continue to reiterate to you as parents, we'll bring you the information as soon as we get it because we know you're concerned, but please try to stay as far away from the physical part of that school as you can as we work to get you more information so that then you don't become kind of part of this scene and make it more difficult on law enforcement as they work to find out what's going on.
And to kind of reiterate, again, we have reached out to Huntsville Hospital. They told us at this time they have not been notified of anyone being transported to the hospital right now. But of course, as we work to get you the newest, latest, and most updated information, we will keep you guys updated. You can see the scene outside of Williams Elementary School right now. You're taking a live look at what is going on at that school. We do know an emergency situation is happening at that school. Details into what exactly the situation entails, we are still waiting to find out, but you can see parents, family members of students coming out there, obviously very concerned as well, waiting to hear information from what's going on inside of that school as well.
Right. So this is something we'll continue to follow for you, as right now it is just being called an emergency situation. So we're sure that you've maybe heard some rumors from people as people are on the scene or maybe know someone in that building. But until we get kind of an all clear in terms of clarification of what actually happened, we're not going to speculate on that. We want to make sure that the information we're giving you is true and accurate information. So again, this is Williams Elementary School. It is a pre-kindergarten through 8th grade school. So you're looking at a wide age range of students, and an emergency situation is what they are calling it at this time. You can see kind of a police car was just moving there in your screen, and see that really there are cop cars kind of spanning the entire side and entrance to this building. So they really have it look like all of kind of the entrances and exits covered at this point in time. So again, waiting to see what develops out of this, and we want to make sure that, you know, parents are just being kind of informed of what's going on. So here's a look at where this is on a map.
It is off of Zert Road on Barren Fork Boulevard. So on that map, you can see 565, and then you can see to the right of that, the marker that says Williams School. That is where this is happening right now. It, as Meredith said, P through 8 school, according to Huntsville City Schools website. Williams Elementary School. Of course, Way 31 does have crews. They're on the scene working to get information for you guys as we speak right now. So we are going to definitely keep in touch with them. This is a live look. You can see right now the scene outside of Williams Elementary School, as you know, parents, family members getting to that school. We are told by police, also some deputies with Madison County Sheriff's Office, that they're setting up a perimeter, so nobody is getting any closer to the school than what you see right there in your screen. Just a second ago, you saw a police officer coming over to where the family and, you know, parents are gathered at this time. And
on the Huntsville City Schools Twitter account right now, they have not updated anything, so there's nothing coming out from them either. I'm sure that their personnel, Dr. Matt Aiken, I'm sure has been abreast of whatever situation this is, as well as Keith Ward. He's the media relations. He's our contact with Huntsville City Schools. So we'll be getting in touch with him, and we'll let you know what they can pass on to us when they can pass it on. We can appreciate the sensitivity and the stress that this causes for parents. So again, if you happen to know someone who goes to Williams Elementary School, or if you yourself are a parent of a student there, we ask you to really be patient as we try to get the information as quickly as possible, but the correct information. And as I've said before, don't go and get on this, don't try to get on this scene. Try to stay as back as far as you can. We realize those are your little ones and you want to be there and make sure that they're okay. But right now the police really need to be on the scene doing what they need to be doing and not worried about external forces coming in and hindering that.
Okay. We have just gotten a NIXL alert from Madison Police that reads, all Madison schools are in lockdown as a precautionary measure due to this incident in Huntsville. So again, that is coming from Madison Police, reiterating that all schools in Madison are now in lockout as precautionary measure due to this emergency situation. So if you have kids in Madison as well, and you are watching this right now, and they are now being put on lockdown, this is the reason why they are taking this extra precaution due to what is going on right now at Williams Elementary in Huntsville.
This is one of those areas that's very close, Huntsville, Madison. It's kind of a dividing line. So obviously this is a Huntsville City School, but Madison is just right there. And just as a precaution, since they have not said exactly what is going on or if this is an isolated incident, if this is something that everyone should be worried about, just as a precaution, all of Madison City Schools are taking the same kind of precaution. We'll wait to find out more from Huntsville City Schools when we hear from their leaders.
And again, that NIXL alert came from Madison Police Department. So if you're set up on their alert system and you get that to your smartphone, it just went off on my phone literally 2 minutes ago. So you're probably also getting that as well. If you have kids also in Madison schools, that's why they're in lockdown mode as well, dealing with this emergency situation at Williams. Again, Williams is off of Zert Road, so near, as Meredith mentioned, that Huntsville-Madison line in the same vicinity. But we're still working to get details confirmed for you right now as to just what this emergency situation entails.
Nothing on Huntsville Police's Twitter account at this point in time either. So, you know, what we can kind of infer from that situation is that at this point in time, they're still working to gather more information. We just have another crew that arrived on scene. We have reporter Cody Fisher, who is there on scene now. So, Cody, from your vantage point, what are you seeing? Have you heard anything from anyone official?
Right now, we don't have any information of what's actually going on at the elementary school, but I'm going to step out of the way so you can see these emergency crews here. I'm actually going to step behind the camera and zoom in for you. This is the Spring Hill United Methodist Church, and right now, emergency crews they are stationed here so that they are out of the way. They told me that they are letting police handle the situation before they move in to handle any type of injuries that may have occurred or may be occurring currently at the school. So that's the information that we know from right here. But what I can tell you is that there's probably 1, 2, 3 fire trucks and 4 fire trucks, 2 ambulances, 3 ambulances right now here waiting on standby in case they need to go in to handle any injuries that may be happening.
Thanks, Cody. Can we ask you a question real fast? Are you seeing a lot of parents out there? Does anyone seem like they have, obviously a lot of emotion going on right now, or they seem to have the scene pretty well contained from outside forces?
In terms of that, I mean, I just see 2 people walking in front of the emergency vehicles right there through the shot, but I haven't seen a whole lot of parents. But what I have seen is probably on the way over here, 15 to 20 police officers from different agencies racing towards the scene, which just kind of gives you a sense of how seriously they're taking this situation.
All right. Thank you very much, Cody. We appreciate that update. So again, an emergency situation, Williams Elementary School. This is a pre-kindergarten through 8th grade school that is part of the Huntsville City School District. So that's the school district we're talking about.
And right now we are being told that we had Sydney Martin up live. She is being moved to a different area. We have just gotten word that Stacy Bates, who is a public spokesperson for the Huntsville Police Department, has just sent an email. If you just give me, I'm about to pull it up on my phone right now.
Officers are... Okay, we're getting word that officers are clearing the building. They're literally going room by room to make sure that they don't miss anything, but there's been no indication of a shooting at that point in time from them. So we're
getting to get this information literally as we get it into our ear. Of course, we know a lot of parents are wondering, family members as well, who have, kids inside of Williams Elementary School. But this scene that you're taking a look at right now is where our reporter Cody Fisher is set up live. This is Spring Hill United Methodist Church, and he has told us that that's kind of a staging area for Huntsville. You see Fire and Rescue, you see Himsey right there as well. They're kind of staging in this area to wait and see, if they need to move closer into the building or not at this point. But this is, again, in the parking lot of Spring Hill United Methodist Church as well.
And remember, there is a perimeter set up, so they have emergency vehicles guarding around the school, and they are asking people to stay away from that as you can, because they want to make sure they've got the whole situation under control and that there's nothing going on outside of the building as well, so that everyone is safe. So we understand that for parents, this is something, it's hard for you to be hands off. You want to make sure that your kid is okay. We understand that. That's why we're on right now with you, to make sure that you're getting the information as we get it, so that you can then rest assured that your child is okay. Again, this is an emergency situation. The latest we've heard from Huntsville Police, they are checking room by room in this.
Also tweeted,
school.
Huntsville Police has just tweeted, HPD is investigating a call of a shooting at Williams School. Nothing has been found, no injuries and no weapons found at this point. Again, that comes from Huntsville Police on their Twitter feed. They just tweeted that about 2 minutes ago. So also, obviously, they're working room by room and, to make sure that there is indeed nothing. But at this point, they're saying no injuries and no weapons found on the campus of Williams Elementary School. But of course, they are still on the scene there. You're taking a live look. This is at Spring Hill United Methodist Church. This is near where that school is. We're being told this is kind of a staging area for other first responders like Himsey, Huntsville Fire and Rescue, also kind of here just waiting if they are needed. And then they will obviously go onto that school's campus. But again, Huntsville Police.
Still no confirmation from Huntsville City Schools, at least on their social media account, of anything. So obviously, parents, if you're wondering, well, what does the school say about this? We'll get you that answer. They just haven't said anything on social media just yet. But again, the main concern would be from the police department to make sure that no one has been injured and that there isn't any kind of active situation that they're still trying to assess and figure out. Obviously, still a lot of law enforcement, though, on that scene, and something we would anticipate to last now for a few hours as they work to kind of figure out what happened. The problem is, they get a call about something and they're just as much in the dark until they get there and start investigating things to try to figure out exactly what this call came out for. So again, at this point in time, just an emergency situation. And like Alyssa said, as far as we have heard from Huntsville City or from Huntsville Police Department, they haven't found anything, no weapons, no injuries, but they are doing a room by room search of this school just to make sure that there isn't anything that they've missed in the initial search.
And as Meredith has mentioned a few minutes ago, often we cover these, training situations for Huntsville Police. I know just a few months ago at the beginning of the school year, they had an active, situation training event. They are well prepared for these events. That is why they have such, training events for any kind of active situation that might occur. But again, you're taking a live look right now. This is from Way 31's Cody Fisher, who is on the scene near that school. But right now you're taking a look in the parking lot of Spring Hill United Methodist Church. You can see a staging area for other first responders like Huntsville Fire and Rescue, as well as HIMSI. We do know the Madison County Sheriff is on the scene, as well as Huntsville Police on the scene of Williams Elementary School as we speak right now.
Yeah.
So again, just to reiterate, we are working to get you guys the latest information as we get it into our newsroom and have it confirmed. We're going to relay it to you. We know that in the other live shot that we had of just a few moments ago, cars were lining up of parents and family members, obviously concerned and also wanting to know what's going on. But there was, a parameter that was set up, so nobody is going into that school. We've also heard from Madison Police. They have sent out the NICSO alert saying that all Madison schools also now on the lockdown mode following this situation.
So again, we just want to reiterate for parents, as soon as we get more information, we will pass it along to you. We know this is very scary. Anytime your babies are involved in something, you want to be the first ones there to make sure that they're okay. So if you can continue to do police a favor and not try to get on property of that school, that will be helpful to them as they continue to work through and assess this situation. They don't need anything from the outside impeding what they're trying to do inside that building. And we're waiting to hear more from Huntsville City Schools as well in terms of what they're going to release about this. We would imagine that the superintendent, Dr. Matt Aiken, has been informed, as well as our media contact, Keith Ward. So we're working to get in touch with him and get you some more information on that. Again, not the start to the school day that I imagine most parents for students of Williams Elementary Schools were expecting. Nonetheless, this is what we're dealing with right now. And again, we do have our law enforcement agencies out there doing what they're trained to do. So you can see a fire truck pulling out of the scene right now. Looks like the other one is right behind it. So from this look, it looks like they're maybe leaving the scene. I can't swear that they're not just relocating, but it looks like at this point they could be leaving. So this could give some kind of indication that perhaps part of the emergency scene is wrapping up. So obviously we'll wait to, say anything about an all clear once we get word from Huntsville Police. But seeing them leave would be a good indication that maybe something is kind of coming to a denouement in terms of what's happening at Williams Elementary School.
We also have Way 31's Cody Fisher, who is that's where this live picture is coming from right now. Way 31's Sydney Martin also on the scene there. We are being told she had to relocate. She was kind of directly right across from that school, but they are moving, appears to be they're moving the media to a different area. So we do have reporters there on the scene working to get you. And again, Huntsville Police have tweeted just about 6 minutes ago that nothing has been found on campus right now. They say no injuries and no weapons have been found. That's coming from Huntsville Police on their Twitter feed.
Interesting to note, Madison City Schools are all on lockdown because this is one of those border areas where it's fringe of Huntsville and Madison. So as we see HIMSI pulling out, fire trucks pulling out, so it does seem like a lot of the first responder vehicles are heading away from this scene at this time. So whether they're relocating to somewhere else, we cannot say. But it does look like they are leaving the campus itself. But Huntsville City Schools, from what we've heard, have not been placed on lockdown. So I would guess we're waiting to find out more from them. But we haven't heard anything from them in terms of any of their other schools are on lockdown or if this is literally an isolated incident to this school. But obviously, Madison City Schools felt it was prudent to go ahead and put their schools on lockdown in case there was something that was more external and not just confined to the campus of Williams Elementary.
Well, and just as Meredith mentioned, of course, Way 31's Cody Fisher is at this scene that you see on your screen. This is a live shot where he is at. That is Spring Hill United Methodist Church, and that is near where the school is, the school on Barren Fork Boulevard, just off of Zerd Road in that area. So you can see, you know, this line of emergency vehicles. We are still waiting to hear some more information at this, you know, time, but we are giving you guys the information that we have confirmed at this very minute.
And so when you've got a lot of police and a lot of emergency responders on the scene, and we've been told by Huntsville police they're going room by room checking this out. So you would imagine, you know, they've got on their Kevlar vests. They are taking this situation very seriously, as though it's active, not knowing what to expect. So they're clearing each room and, you know, marking to make sure that there's nothing in there that they just don't see on the surface. So they're really doing their due diligence, and they've been trained for this. This is something that they do practice drills for several times a year to make sure that they are not only working well together, they have all the equipment they need, all the communication support that they need. So while the situation is maybe something that they don't do every day, they're well practiced for it and ready when things like this happen. So you can be sure that they are doing what they've been trained to do. We do see a lot of cars out there. We would assume that some of these would be, you know, just people driving in the area unknowing as to what's going on, and probably some parents as well trying to get here and figure out if they can get their kids. I'm sure a lot of parents are thinking, I just want to go in the school. I just want to get my kid. I just want to take my kid out and take them home. Please just be patient with the law enforcement officers as they continue to work this scene, and really do what's in everyone's best interest. You want to do what's in your child's best interest. They're trying to do what's in your child's best interest, as well as all the other children, the teachers, the staff themselves, you that could be on scene there as well. So just trying to remember they're doing the bigger picture, and be patient. And we hope that this will kind of help quell some of your nerves as we are able to relay information to you at this point in time. Again, as far as Huntsville police have told us, no injuries, no weapons have been found, and they are doing very, very diligent and incremental searches of this building.
Room by room is what we are being told. Huntsville police are sweeping through this school, making sure that, you know, everything is in the all clear. As we've mentioned on their Twitter feed, as Meredith said, they have tweeted so far no injuries have been reported, no weapons have been found, but we do have crews, you know, as many crews as we can have there. We are being told that they've kind of moved the media staging area just a little bit where this shot is. It is out in the parking lot of Spring Hill United Methodist Church that is near that Williams Elementary School off of Zert Road. But Way 31's Sydney Martin is also live on the scene this morning, so we're going to check in with her. Sydney, do you have any new information you can tell us? Also, we understand you have been moved. Tell us now where you were at and sort of what you're seeing in that area.
Hey, Alyssa, I've been moved just up the road to where the church is. That's close to the school, probably about a quarter of a mile. You can't see the school where we are. I'm going to step out of the way here so you guys can see what's going on. So this is Spring Hill United Methodist Church that we are next to. All of the Hemsey emergency vehicles and fire trucks were in this parking lot. They have now since moved towards the school, and they have moved all of us away. Parents have been directed to come towards this church. Again, when I pulled up to the school, Sheriff Blake Dorning was outside of the school. He told me that they had no comments, no statements at this time, that they were trying to figure out what was going on. State troopers were with him, along with Huntsville Police Department. As you guys saw earlier, there's a lot of activity over there at the school. I'm going to send back video in just a couple minutes so you guys can kind of see what the scene looks like over there. But again, no one is being allowed on that road that the school is on, or even towards it. We're all being kept about a quarter of a mile away. Again, this is a very active situation right now. We're trying to get you guys the latest and figure out what exactly is going on. So we'll check back later with more.
I want to emphasize to you, we have called Huntsville City Schools. We have not heard back from Keith Ward, who is our media contact, our spokesperson. So we are trying to find out from them what they know, what they can tell us, because we want to be able to relay that to you, parents or concerned people here in the community. Right. But right now, we just haven't been informed from Huntsville City Schools, from their perspective, what's going on.
Well, we have, as Meredith said, reached out to them, but we have heard from Lieutenant Stacy Bates with Huntsville Police. He's a public information officer. I'm going to reach read you guys the email that he has sent to the media, and it says a call came into the 911 center reporting a shooting at the school. Officers are clearing the building room by room, but at this point we have found no evidence of a shooting. I will update when final building searches are complete. So at this time, police are still making their way through that school room by room, just doing a clean sweep of everything to ensure that no weapons are on that campus, and that everything is in the all clear as well. So again, that information coming from Lieutenant Stacy Bates, straight from Huntsville Police. He is the spokesperson and point of contact on our end for the police department.
And it's hard because we want this information for you so that we can give it to you, but they are really trying to just do the best that they can, and they don't want to give out false information. They don't want to say that something happened and then have to go back and clarify later and say, well, no, that wasn't the truth. So they're going to be very cautious about what information they give to make sure that it is truthfully accurate information. So we know that it's difficult, in that we've now been on air talking about this for roughly 30 minutes or so, that there hasn't been a whole lot that's come out. We know that that can be very frustrating, but you have to just be a little patient and realize that they're doing their jobs, and they want to make sure they give us the information when they have that information.
Okay. We have also just gotten another NICS alert, this one coming from Madison County Sheriff's Office, that is saying parent staging area for Williams Elementary is at 1605 Zert Road. That is the Spring Hill United Methodist Church that we've been telling you guys. That's where you saw the shot of all those emergency vehicles. We are being told that that's why those emergency vehicles cleared that parking lot, because that is where parents are being told to go as a staging area for this emergency situation and wait to get some further information. Again, that exact address, 1605 Zert Road, and that is Spring Hill United Methodist Church, and that was sent as a NICS alert from Madison County Sheriff's Office. So if you get those alerts to your phone, you've just gotten it within literally the last minute.
So don't crowd the perimeter of that school. They have it blocked off. They don't want you there. They have a place that they want you for your safety, and then that way it'll be so much easier for them when they have information. They can go straight there and update you as parents. We would imagine all the students are still in the building. From what we can tell, we haven't seen little people running around outside of there. So it appears the students are probably inside of their classrooms. We don't doubt that some of them may be a little bit frightened. Some of them may be completely unaware of what's going on.
On this map, you can see Williams School, and then across the road from it is where that Spring Hill United Methodist Church is. So that is where parents are being told to go and wait there. As Meredith has mentioned, they have set up a line around this school building while police are in there doing a sweep, classroom by classroom, room by room, to make sure that, in fact, they've told us so far they haven't seen any weapons, no reports of injuries, but they're going to check every single room. We are told by Huntsville Police that once they finish sweeping through the building, then they will let us know. But as we understand right now, they are still working on going room by room in that school. It looks like traffic is picking up in that area, though. So, if you know someone that's heading that way, the place for them to go is that church parking lot.
Don't make this more complicated on them. And if you're thinking, well, I just need to, go to that part of Huntsville, Madison area for something, try to avoid this area if you can. So if you don't have a need to be there, if you don't live out there, if you're not going to the school, you're a parent waiting to be informed, then just don't go out there, because they need to have this area as clear as possible so that they can deal with the immediate situation, not dealing with traffic that just doesn't need to be on this road. We haven't heard that the road's been blocked off or anything like that, but it would just really alleviate congestion and alleviate concerns for them if you don't need to be there, if you aren't there. But again, parents, please go to their staging area. Don't just go to the school. Don't try to run onto the property. We don't want to make a situation that's already an emergency and potentially bad into something worse. So again, please heed their warnings and do what they're asking you to do, and not try to do what you want to do in terms of just what you think is best in order for your child. They are keeping them as safe as they possibly can. And again, like we've been reiterating, we haven't heard any confirmation of anything other than that this is just an emergency situation. There have been no reports of injuries. Huntsville Hospital has said they haven't gotten any reports of anyone coming in or anything like that, and they haven't found any weapons. So at this point in time, they're just doing their due diligence, going room by room, and checking things out. So minute by minute, we're getting new information, and we're going to bring it to you the second we get it. We just need you to be patient and just be paying attention and listening. And as soon as we find out information, we'll give it to you. But again, I think maybe kind of one of the things that's maybe a little glaring in all of this is having no word from Huntsville City Schools.
Right.
This is a Huntsville City school, and they haven't said anything to us in terms of media, and we've made phone calls to them. So I think that would kind of be the glaring thing at this moment that's sticking out, is having heard nothing from them.
Okay. So we are going to check back in. As I've mentioned, Way 31 has crews all over this scene. We are working from every angle to get you guys the latest information as we get it. Let's go ahead and get straight to Way 31's Cody Fisher, who is live from that staging area where parents and family members are being told to go. Cody, what can you tell us? It looks like the crowd there is growing. Tell us what you can, any new information you have at this point.
Yes, absolutely. So just about 30 seconds ago, I confirmed with a police officer that this is now the staging area for parents of kids at the elementary school. Again, this is the Spring Hill United Methodist Church. Some parents have already have already gotten here. They didn't know that this was the staging area for parents until just a couple of moments ago, but they came to the area because they got the alerts about what was going on, and so they came here. The parents that I talked to say they have a 10 and a 5-year-old at the school, and their 5-year-old today is her birthday, and they're at the school right now and extremely emotional. They don't know what's going on, and so they're just waiting here, waiting for more information from police about the situation.
All right. Thanks so much, Cody. Of course, very understandable. As he mentioned, parents there, getting emotional, just trying to wait and find out. Right. As, many of us are waiting for those new details and new information to come in so we can relay those to you. We are getting it in as soon as possible and relaying it to you, but very understandable. You could see that crowd that was growing behind Cody of parents. Again, that is in the Spring Hill United Methodist Church parking lot. That is the staging area for parents to go to. That is right across from the school as well.
So again, we have not heard from Huntsville City Schools about what is going on. They haven't said anything out on social media that we've heard. We've talked to some people just in our building that have children in Huntsville City Schools. They haven't gotten any alerts that we've heard of or that they've heard of. But we do know that Keith Ward, who is our media contact within Huntsville City Schools, is on the scene at the school. He hasn't briefed the media yet, but he is there. So we would expect to be getting some kind of update from Huntsville City Schools imminently about what is going on there. You see, we would look at these and see all these, parents just kind of pacing, not really knowing what to do with their time.
Of course, you're anxious and you want to know it's your kids, it's your babies. As Meredith has mentioned, this is P through 8th grade school, so you can see that
that's a wide range of ages,
right? And first responders also kind of making sure
up,
parents and family members stay in that parking lot area. They have a perimeter set up around the school, as Huntsville police, we are told, are still inside doing a clean sweep of that school, going room by room to really make sure that everyone is in fact safe and working literally minute by minute. So. Okay, we have just gotten
So we just got an
alert.
No injured students, and faculty is all safe as well.
Okay. This is from Huntsville Police, coming from Captain Joyner at Williams Elementary School, saying no injured students or faculty. School will continue as regular for the rest of the school day. Again, that is coming from Huntsville Police. So if you get those alert systems to your phone, you should be getting that. Just came to mind within the last minute or so. So again, that is coming straight from Huntsville Police Captain, who is on the scene there.
So if you're a parent and you're wondering, well, what to do, that was the latest. School day is going to continue. Let's go to Way 31's Sydney Martin. She is on scene there as well. So Sydney, what are you hearing and seeing?
Hey, Meredith, Alyssa. So the sheriff's office just told me that they're gathering up all the parents, that they will be bringing some of their students up here to the church. I'm going to step out of the way here so you guys can see what it looks like at that intersection. At that intersection, if you turn right down that road, that's where the school is located. So you can see Huntsville Police is blocking off that intersection right now. Still not letting people down that intersection, but we're starting to see some police cars, some Hemsey ambulances, all leaving that area without their lights on, starting to either pull into this church parking lot or just continuing on down Zert Road. So Again, the sheriff's office is starting to gather parents. We're starting to see Huntsville Police, Sheriff's Office, and Hemsey all clear out of where the school is. We're still waiting for them to give the latest update, but we did hear that nobody was injured and that no shooter was found inside of the school.
And just to reiterate, Huntsville Police had told us in an email that they sent that they were, checking. They had received a call into the 911 center of a possible shooting. That has since been confirmed that there was no injuries in that. There was no shooting, no injuries of students or faculty, and that school is going to continue on for the rest of the day. But they have been there on the campus doing a clean sweep, going room by room. They told us no weapons were found inside of that school as well.
So obviously the latest is no students have been injured, no staff was injured, and the school day is going to continue as normal. I don't know how you go back to so much of a normalcy after something like this, but they are going to continue with the school day there at Williams P through 8 school. There are a lot of parents, though, set up at a nearby church, Spring Hill Church United Methodist, and what Sydney was telling us is that some students may be brought over there to that church, I guess, if their parents really want to check them out of school, get them home for the day. It does sound like that is something that will be happening to some degree. If you're not already out there, you may want to kind of reevaluate the situation and see what you feel is like going to be best for your family. But it does look like this scene is sort of starting to clear and dissolve a bit, as it does appear the emergency situation isn't anything to be concerned about in terms of any active shooter, any active situation. This just was a 911 call, and then all the precautions and safety was taken to make sure that it was okay. And we like when things end up like this.
A new also update coming in from Madison Police. We have previously told you guys that Madison City schools were on lockdown. That is no longer the case. Madison Police have just sent a Nixle alert saying that all Madison schools are no longer in lockout mode. They are now going to resume normal activity for the rest of their school day. So, again, as we have talked a few minutes ago, that this area not too far from, that kind of Huntsville-Madison line. So as a precautionary measure, Madison City schools also went on lockdown. That lockdown has since been lifted, and they are resuming school as normal. But, the good news is we saw all of the, precautionary measures really go into effect. I feel like it's, so often that these training incidences are done and conducted with, local law enforcement and school officials. And it seems as though all of that training was really put into action very quickly when this call came in. Just now, about a little more than an hour ago, I believe the call came in just before the noon hour here. So we can confirm that all faculty, staff, students are safe at Williams Elementary School.
But you can see there is quite the overflow there of cars, as a lot of parents have shown up at this church to figure out what's going on with their students. So again, the staging area is at Spring Hill United Methodist Church. They're just kind of catty corner from the school. So parents, please go there if you feel like you need to find out about the situation or potentially check your student out of school. It does sound like their school day, though, is going to go on as continued. And we are still waiting to hear from Huntsville City Schools in terms of what they have to say about the situation. But you'd see kind of a lot of pacing back and forth. We imagine very, very stressful for parents who just want answers about what's going on inside of their children's classroom. But again, the good news coming out of this today, no one was injured.
A new tweet just came in from Huntsville Police. This came in just about 2 minutes ago. They have said, again, this is coming straight from Huntsville Police on their Twitter feed. Shooting call at Williams School was determined to be a prank. Huntsville Police will be following up with an investigation. That is coming straight from Huntsville Police on their Twitter feed. That just came in within the last 2 or 3 minutes. So, we're going to be continuing to follow up on this, but from what Huntsville Police are now saying, it was determined to be a prank, and now they will be conducting an investigation. Obviously, this would be nothing to make a prank call about, because this is very serious.
You're looking at this effort right now. So we had Huntsville Police, Madison County Sheriff's Office, Hemsey, the fire department, all of now these parents that have left work concerned about their children. The day that has been disrupted because of a prank. This is just no laughing matter, and this is something that I'm sure the Huntsville Police are going to be taking very seriously, and that Williams School is going to be taking very seriously, because this is not an acceptable behavior from whomever this came in from. If you think about the lives that have been disrupted, the work that's been going on.
As a parent, you think about the sheer panic
This is
that
not
ensues when you have even hear of an emergency situation, much less hear that Huntsville police originally responded to the call that came in that there was a shooting. So of course, you know, that is no joking matter. That is nothing, you know, to joke or prank about at all. But according to Huntsville police, the original call is now determined to be a prank, and they will be investigating. So I mean, it could carry serious consequences.
It really could. And as a point of reference, here at Way 31, you know, we don't like to report on situations like this. You know, in the past, if there's been bomb threats at schools where school's been canceled for the day, we try not to give credence to those kind of things because we don't want to further that this is something that's okay, or that then, you know, what the goal was, which was to either not have school or to have panic or whatever. We don't want to further that because that's just irresponsible journalism. So, you know, with something like this, it's hard because it's like, we want to bring you information that you need to know, and situations like this should never be happening. So, you know, if they find out that if they find the person that's responsible for this, they could very well be facing some criminal charges for calling in a prank like this. So it's serious business. So if you've got kids and they're thinking this is a way to get out of having to go to school for the day, it's never okay to call in some kind of fake shooting or bomb threat or anything. Any of these are not actions that should be taken to send a school into a situation where maybe it's dismissing or not happening for the day.
And, you know, even though Huntsville police have told us no weapons have been found, no injuries, it was a prank, they will be investigating, you still see this picture right here of dozens of cars, and these are concerned
so that means
parents
left
members.
Work. They could have been missing out on money today that they need for their family. So you're looking at a situation that has long stemming effects, not just for students in class. These affect the first responders and all of these parents who literally left their jobs and are full of worry about their children to come to a situation that turns out to be nothing more than a prank. So very serious business. Here's that tweet up on your screen that you can see it from Huntsville Police Department.
Exactly, from their Twitter feed. You see that most recent tweet at the top that says shooting call at Williams School was determined to be a prank. HPD will be following up with an investigation. So again, that is coming straight from Huntsville Police.
If you're responsible for this, don't think you're off the hook.
Consequences for, you know, for those that are involved in this. But obviously, you know, still an active scene there. You saw all of the parents' cars still there. They're being told to go to the staging area. We're told by one of our reporters who was live on the scene there that some of their, you know, kids will be brought out to them because understandably some of these parents might just want to take their students and go home for the day. You're taking a look right now at that crowd of parents, I mean, and family members still concerned, even though this was determined to be a prank and an investigation will now be underway. These parents are still wondering, you know, they're still wanting their kids, you know, you hear it all the time. A parent feels like the safest place for their kid is in their arms. So,
okay. All right, so we're just going to give you a quick rundown of what we have learned in the past. It's been about 40 minutes or so since this happened. Yeah, about roughly an hour. So here's what's going on. It is an all clear at Williams Elementary School in terms of no weapons were found, no one was injured, and Huntsville police are calling this shooting call to 911 a prank.
And this all came in just right around noon, but Huntsville police have confirmed they have done a clean sweep of Williams Elementary School. That school will resume as normal.
So Madison City Schools were on lockdown. That has since been lifted. We are waiting to hear from Huntsville City Schools in regards to what their next step is going to be. Parents of students at Williams Elementary School go to Spring Hill United Methodist Church, kind of adjacent to where the school is. That's where they're going to be briefing you. And if there are students that can be picked up, that is likely where you're going to be doing that. But again, the school day is going to continue as normal. So if you are a parent and you would like your student to stay in school, that is perfectly fine. That is an option as well. But if you are a parent and you want to be informed of what's going on, Spring Hill United Methodist Church is where they have the parents' staging area.
And again, also important to just update you guys again, Madison City Schools were also placed on lockdown during this emergency situation. That lockdown on Madison City Schools now lifted. Students, faculty, and staff are all safe at Williams Elementary School here in Huntsville. That is off Barren Fork Road near Zerk Road. So Huntsville Police, once again, confirming this was indeed a prank. Right. They will now investigate.
And here at Way 31, we do have several crews on the scene. So we're going to stay out there and continue to find out for you from Huntsville City Schools what, they have to say about the protocol that happened, from Huntsville Police, how they can say, how their protocol worked as well, and what could potentially be the next step in terms of this being a prank. Are they going to pursue charges if they can find out who's responsible for this? So while the good news is the situation is under control, there were no injuries, no one was hurt, everything is going to go back to normal, there are a lot of unanswered questions in terms of, what happened at the school with the law enforcement response, and how Huntsville City Schools itself feels like their response went as well. So still a lot of questions. We'll be getting answers for you on those as the day goes on. So of course we'll have updates for you all day long, and on air and online.
And our crews are going to stay out there and work to get you guys, any new information. Make sure to tune right here to Way 31 News at 5 o'clock for the latest information on this situation, as our reporters work hard to really dig in and get some more answers on this.
We're going to return you now to your programming.